right at the very outset, Governor Mitch Daniels. Sir, welcome to the broadcast.
You will always be the star of this show.
Well, I don't know. Now, I know that you came to town today. I know you had an event planned with Concordia, and then tonight I think you're in Warsaw for a dinner there. So is that how that works? If we promise to feed you, you show? Is that how that works? That's what gets me there.
I go with or without food. I've just made it my practice path to travel the state as much as I could. I've always thought being accessible and available to my employers was a huge part of the job, and so we keep a little log. I think this is my 55th trip to Allen County, something like that. When I get to Kosciuszko County, I think I've been there 20 or 21 times.
As governor.
As governor.
Right.
And but I learned so much from it. I'll be staying overnight in someone's home, making new friends, and learning that way. That'll be about the 120th time we've done that. So we're just out doing what we do, and we get fed, but that's not the main point.
You know, everybody would look at you, and nobody would complain, I don't think, or they would challenge you if you adopted a mentality of, this is my last year of my second term, I can't run again, and to adopt kind of a lame duck mentality. But I think it was pretty obvious to me. I mean, everybody's talked about your response to the president's speech the other night, but I hearken back to the State of the State speech, when you continue to lay out a pretty aggressive agenda. Right to work, which of course got voted on in the House last night, and that's moving forward. That doesn't sound to me like a guy who's in wind down mode. It seems to me like you're intending to be governor all the way to January next year.
I would hope anybody would look at it that way. No, I'm very, very conscious of this. We want to use every day of 8 years, do everything we can, try to make us a better state.
It's pretty bad, Governor, when the Democrats this fall, all they'll have to do maybe is replay some of the Republican primary ads that somebody ran against their opponents and just use that. You know, take Newt Gingrich's words to chew up Mitt Romney, or take Mitt Romney's words to chew up Newt Gingrich, and you basically have laid it all on a platter just for the Obama administration to pick it up and use it.
I learned here in Indiana that it really, you might feel good for about 10 seconds to really get off a zinger. If somebody says something scurrilous, and they do, it calls you some kind of terrible name and says something that's false, your first reaction is give it back to them.
Sure.
And I know how to do that.
Yeah.
But I learned early on, real early on, that doesn't really impress most people. And the average person says, well, shoot, they're just, it's just another mud ball fight.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get things done, the best thing is just to bite down hard and try to ignore it and try to be a little more respectful than the other person. And then maybe you'll get a chance to persuade the folks in the middle that you're really trying to do something that's for their benefit.
Do you feel one more governor's administration in you, if you could, because there's still so much left to do?
Yeah, sure, there's plenty more to do, and there always will be. As to whether I would want to do it, probably not. I think, my sense has always been, Pat, that public service to me, certainly elected office, is the only one I ever ran for or will, that it was something, if you got the chance, a person ought to do with a part of their life, but then get back and live under the laws that you've been part of making, and get back to the important sector of society, the one government's supposed to be there to protect and promote. So even if we didn't have that rule, I think 8 years is about enough, and let somebody else have a go at it.
Here comes the question, and I've got to ask it. Would you, in response to a call or call from someone or someone's, would you, as Chris Christie said he had to do, just because of who it was that was asking him the question, would you allow yourself to at least give a passing consideration to again running for office?
I really don't expect to run for any office. I've said it before, I meant it, still mean it. This is something I wanted. When the chance presented itself, I thought Indiana was sinking and going nowhere. We had a million things we ought to do about it, and for 8 years we've been working on that. And but that, to me, will constitute a sufficient time in elected office, and I look forward to going back to private life.
It is imperative that the Obama administration is in fact a one-term presidency. Do you think that that really is a very important thing for this nation, that this administration changes hands come next January?
I try to say it a little differently. I think it's extremely important that we change national policy in the directions that I talked about while we still have time. It's not about getting rid of anybody. It's about changing direction while there's still time to protect the future generations in this country. Every single time they have a call to make here, jobs lose. The government wins, and the private jobs that are the ones we need to build a middle class on, the ones that provide the revenue to meet our debts and protect our vulnerable and do the things government does need to do, you know, we've got to start growing that economy again. And I'd never put it in terms of getting rid of the president or anything like that. It's about putting this country on a course that leads back in the direction of upward mobility and hope.
And in Indiana, right to work is a good step that direction.
We believe so. You know, the folks who have been against it are entitled to their point of view, and they are passionate about it. They're going to find out. People are going to find out.
Yeah.
None of these terrible things. There's nothing to any of that. Nobody's
the
wages
boogeyman
are going,
behind the bush.
Nobody's wages are going down. Nobody's going to lose any benefits, and the right to organize will be intact. But the thing that will change is that we will have some more chances to bring jobs to this state.
We're very honored to have had you here today, and I hope we have an opportunity, if not live, again by phone,